Here we go on day 3 of the Red Bull Romaniacs. And he who thought there is an easy day at the Romaniacs is wrong. The toughest enduro rally in the world is just full of surprises. The third stage is packed with steep climbs where both the experts and the pros are struggling. Crashes are pre-programmed, but the Romaniacs are indestructible. The early morning birds have to fly 140 kilometers. That's not so long, but it's very difficult to navigate. Chris Birch gets a few navigation hints from the old fox, Frans Verhoeven. He's 16 minutes behind, so he certainly has to attack today to catch up with Jarvis and Forster. He pushed both his bike and himself to the limit. Gerhard Forster is only 1 minute behind Graham Jarvis, and he knows he is the better navigator. Although Jarvis started shortly after Forster, the first navigation problems came quicker than he thought. Where did Forster go? Graham's riding skills are incredible. He's been in world-class trials for many, many years. However, at the first checkpoint, Birch showed up right behind Forster. Clever Chris is still using the German GPS machine. And Graham also catches up with the leaders. So it's the same scenario as yesterday. BMW rider Gerhard Forster navigating, with Chris and Graham following along behind. Attacking when there's a bend is an easy thing, so from time to time, the guys did try to overtake Gerhard. Unfortunately, Gerhard smashed his gearbox on a rock and was stuck in first gear. He had no chance to repair the gearbox, as to do it, the mechanics must take out the complete motor. This must be the big chance for Birch and Jarvis. Graham Jarvis did the steep downhill in proper fashion and crossed the line first. Shortly after, Chris Birch was sliding down the same hill and finished with a brave jump. Besides only having first gear, Forster arrived much sooner than expected. Up on the mountain it was so foggy. Suddenly we were all together. And as we reached the checkpoint at the top, I was first, even though I'd only got first gear. I'm thinking of charging the other guys for my services as a guide, as they just follow me all the time.
Me, Gerhard and Graham just rode along. Also the mountains, it was just about maybe 10-20 metres visibility right in the tops and freezing cold. So we just kind of plodded along. At that point I didn't realise Gerhard was stuck in first gear, because we were going that slow, it wasn't even a disadvantage for him. And then we worked out, well, I noticed that he couldn't change gear, and we were still following him. I thought it just didn't seem right to me just to follow him and use his navigation skills. I felt like I wanted to ride my own race a bit more. So I bolted off and then got lost straight away.
Really hard to navigate. I kept getting lost, so I followed Chris and Forster. That helped. But then Forster had a problem with his brakes, so I had to just go as fast as I can. And then Chris lost me because I've no brakes. Bent the front disc on it. And then the back brake's gone also.
The top 3 did the stage in around 6 hours, whereas the back markers needed over 10 hours. Stay tuned for tomorrow's all-important final stage.